Final day of the blog. Because tomorrow I have to wake up early to kind of like finalize. I hope anybody that's trying to follow me through uh, on my build up, trying to do things from this point on when I'm making my preparation just to pass the exam. We're not talking about honorary marks, no. Just wasn't enough time to make that realistic impression. Was the way I was approaching the study, which meant watching all the tutorial videos and making my own documented notes and making my own documented notes on textbooks and such. Do I feel like I learned a lot? I feel like I don't know why I know. And that's just basically an impression to tell you I haven't done given myself enough points. Enough time is a bigger issue, but enough points to review how much I've consistently retained in my head. And this is where it comes down. So I knew the preparation of OSCE history taking rather than multiple choice. So reading more about it wasn't going to be the target way of like getting efficiency on preparation for the assessment. Patient interviewing, that was my ideal plan, but that did not come way to what I wanted to do, and there was a lot of interference to say what I was supposed to do when I came here to Canada to get this started. So I'm just going to be very honest on terms of what I'm going to do. I'm going to push myself for the last few days just to see all lines of some efficiency. So my goal set for what I'm doing for terms of practicing to say, you know what, I gave it my best shot. I did what I could for what I had. And I could have done it better, but I had no insight on the direction until I started doing it myself. So I'm going to do the 6 topics on each specialty to know really well what the topics that I think is going to come up. Is that a valid strategy? It's all about a mind game. You don't got enough time to figure out everything. You want to go for what you think is relatively likely to come. Sorry. So I'm going to go and be honest about certain application of what I think is the step forward for what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to see 6 topics, and from the number of it, I'll probably want to spend only an hour on each topic. I'll tell myself to see how much I am trying to like retain on each disease that I'm going to focus on. It's gonna be disease focused, however, it's gonna how I'm gonna approach this. So first, I'm gonna go to pulmonary. Pulmonary. My topics that I'm going to try to learn well are asthma, COPD, IPF, bronchiectasis, PE, cystic fibrosis. It's really hard not to list on more because there's more common things that you can see. So for that one, I also added pneumonia because I needed infectious source. GI, ulcers, upper GI bleeds, GERD, gastritis, IBD, IBS, and celiac. Cardiology, MIs, STEMIs and non-STEMIs, pericarditis, heart failure, stroke, perivascular disease, almost DVT, and valvular disease. Endo, thyroid, diabetes, adrenal, more relation to that. Phemochromocytomas, acromegaly, which is in line with hypothalamus dysfunction. But hypothalamus has a lot of different functions, so I wasn't too sure if I was going to explore that whole organ. Don't think there's enough time for what I begin. So next is next one I want to go is neuro. Neuro has some overlap with stroke and TIAs, right? I think I also would go with let's see, the top of my head, myasthenia gravis. I spelled that was a fair one. So multiple sclerosis. So good one, I think. Parkinson's. I cannot do without Parkinson's disease. That's a big one. What's another one that I could do? I think okay. So stroke, myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's. Would you say anything else comes to mind? Well, there's the harder ones, but I'm not going to go for the harder ones for neuro. So, if God forbids that appears, then that's not going to be the case, I would say. I guess we could go with Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy. It's kind of a preferred one, I think. else? I wanted to go and talk about certain things like sensory neuro, sensory neuro dysfunction, deafness. Let's go with that actually. Let's go with it's not really neuro, but if the facial nerve is involved, then it can lead to those kind of hearing problems. So facial nerve, BPB, BP, no, that might be thinking of more lines of ENT. The structure is kind of like, as you can see, what I'm trying to say. So I'm getting a bit ambitious on the strategy of learning these things, and it's kind of late, so it's like the practicality is just gonna have to divide the time equally on strategizing. So like an hour or two for each of these topics to see the best that I can, and I don't know if I'm going to stay focused. Just not enough time. That's the reality of it, right? And along those lines of like common findings to what some people have suggested to me. Considering like I had a lot of like things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. uh, I'm just gonna have to do the best and pull a bit of legwork here, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be tired. But then it's also I have to do my best to say that I gave this a good shot, so I feel satisfied, and then I'll be happy to move on with my other ongoing projects from what I'm doing in my life. And yeah, if anyone else is interested, you could see that I am doing the best with what I got, and you know, even if the solutions aren't so obvious to you, you know, it's possible for you to reach success as well just by taking the necessary step, being organized, structured, and still have fun so you don't miss out on things. So you can still have fun and still chase like uh, high, uh, high, what's the word I'm looking for? You can still try to reach high goals, but still have fun if you structure yourself, if you're organized, if you're efficient. People who aren't efficient lose out and have to funnel into one thing because the word is like they don't have good ways of like self-assessment. So this is the other thing when you're trying to learn. You've got time in slots to check how much you know of the things that you've worked on and revise. So if you want to really go into it, because obviously I started late, uh, the more you're structured and organized, the more you set yourself things that you need to understand. So space repetition for remembering things, and set bars of goals so you just self-assess yourself. And if you do it in a time constraint in an organized manner, you will very well prepared. I knew this girl that was back in Queen Mary. She would score solid performances, and she says she doesn't know everything. She chooses certain topics to know really well, to which she thinks are going to come up for an exam, and knows those well, and everything else she knows kind of relatively okay. And you know, it worked for her. It was kind of a game for her. She thinks she knows what's going to come up. So that's and then she hard studies those topics, and she's not athletic, right? Like how I like to be, but like she was smart. She was good. She was an intellectual, and I can respect that. Because I was looking for ways to improve my own performances because I had goals as well to see where I was going to go in the future in that medical trajectory when I was doing biomed. This was a girl that I met in my undergrad when I was, trying to get improved to see if I could get uh, give myself a last shot for my career goals for wherever I was going to go in that direction. Regardless, that's a different story. That's not really. I'm not really going to go into detail. I'm just talking about like my approach on studying, what I wish I did better from this point. So it's more time. What I wish I had been more restrictive and gave myself more split. And the fact is, I just don't like studying that much. I like studying it, but seeing some practical aspect, and then be able to use this effort that I use to interact and show that I made the effort to learn when I'm interacting with supervisors or educators and what so. So those are the things I would do next time in the future. Have a set goal. Um, Look for common disease in each topic, and set myself some time frames where I do some self-assessment to see how much I've retained to reinforce the stuff that I've learned, and to see how much I've gone better. Don't go to a book, just write it down. That's inefficient. is 100% inefficient. It may feel like you're doing a lot by spending time, but it's better to be efficient and have a balanced lifestyle over just going hardcore for it. Not many people can do it. It's not that fun as well. Over funding that one thing, and I think it's not worth it. Maybe you can work on high school and all that, but when you get to college and there's so much information out there, and if you don't get many clues about how you're supposed to be studying, you can end up like going in different directions in your studying that are inefficient for the place where you're supposed to be focusing for your assessment, which is all you need to know. So I'm not too sure. There's less insight on that because I've been studying by myself and then trying. Anyways, I hope that what I kind of like clarified it has given you guys some insights and some guided tips on how to do the best that you can with your own preparation. I can appreciate uh, it's not fun studying all the time. I agree with you, but if you take it small dosage at a time instead of making a huge expectation of workload that you're supposed to do and incorporate your routine, you'll slowly get there and you'll be able to get the best that you could have achieved in your own life. And that's really what I hope people understand on joining me in my journey as I try to get at better and smarter at preparing for assessments. Okay, it's it's not it's not super. It only looks like it's rocket science. It's not technically that. We're just showing you the building blocks to slowly get there. Just do stuff. Yes, I overthought some things. You can kind of like comment things on your blog, but just do stuff. Just do stuff and do things in a way that may not be fun or harder, but get used to doing it in small dosage. For me, the biggest criticism I have was just I did not have enough time to make these preparations to be as efficient as I can for doing well. So I'm hoping I just get through a pass because we paid and committed the money from our approach for this. It would have been worse for me to think that I never sat it. I think, and that's it. Good luck to anyone following my vlogs and wants to grow careers where I was trying to push my efforts and direction for an assessment that's quite hard in relation to IMGs trying to match to Canadian options. Where I think is where my own insight is, I hope I at least pass. If I pass, I'll be very happy. If I don't pass, well, I know that I didn't put enough time into it, even so I watched like 30 hours plus of like of a teaching resource. But you do what you gotta do. And I was getting sick of studying after a while, so that routine wasn't like strongly ingrained just because I've been just doing MCQs. Then the LMCC when it comes, which I also plan to finish my Canadian Q Bank while I'm still in Canada, and then I make my onward direction for going back to UK and figure out what I want to do. I have a lot of ambitions on trying to do well in the projects that started out for myself, and I hope that you guys get some inspiration of what you guys want to achieve in life and take a step to do it. I'm more about externalization and practicality and doing it yourself to just get the full enjoyment to enjoy things, make it that deeper appreciation. And if you're like me, you want to achieve stuff, you want to feel those rush and make fond, strong memories about things that you went out and push yourself, which you never thought you could do. Like, the whole idea is just like from stall steps to reaching big left to the point where you can even compete with the big guys. That's why I love those. I love those kind of development things because it shows the implication that can anyone do this? No, not anyone can do this because if they could, they could have. If they say they could have, then at this stage they would have externalized it already. just just do just do things that makes you want to be what you want to be externalized as. Okay, that's the best thing to say. And the words the quotes that I like the most in relevance, which came in lines of movie references as well. You'll be where you want to be because you kept at it. I think that's the epitome of your so you're happy. Keep going to your to the place where it's, which is realistic. You have to be realistic as well, right? To be where you want to be, and you'll find your way. All right, thank you so much. This is the ending of vlog. Tomorrow's my exam. I will not be vlogging, and I'm closing the chapter of this project I set up on myself. With new projects later on coming up, please update from seeing my own stuff, and I will be ongoing with seeing the direction how I'm pushing out further content to uh, be enjoyable for you guys to watch and my further interaction in my life. Thank you.